Welcome to Mirror Shift Podcast, the space where women come to rewrite the story they see in the mirror. I am your host, Reva Davis, boudoir photographer, confidence coach, and your new self-love advocate. Welcome back to the Mirror Shift Podcast. I'm your host, Reva Davis, and today we're getting real about something I've seen again and again, both personally and professionally. What happens when a woman goes from not to hot? And I don't mean just looks. I mean confidence, growth, energy, and healing. Because when a woman starts changing, maybe she starts working out, eating better, dressing up again, taking care of herself, or finally believing she's worthy. Suddenly other women treat her differently. Some cheer her on, but others, they get weird, distant, jealous, and even mean. Today we're talking about that shift. The beauty, the backlash, and the truth. It's 2026, and it's time to stop being intimidated by another woman's glow up and start learning from it. And today I'm joined by my guest, Caitlin Harley, to unpack all of it. So do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell the guests who you are and what you do?
Yes. Hello. So my name is Caitlin Harley. I go by Cait, and I am a women's one-on-one personal trainer and mindset coach. And I've been doing this now for about 3 years. It is such rewarding work being an entrepreneur and helping women feel confident in their bodies, not just in the gym, but also how they show up and express themselves in the world, whether it's online and all their relationships. And yeah, so some things about me outside of my work and my business is I love being out in nature. I travel a lot. And yeah, I'm currently going through a lot of transitions in my own life with evolving my business and kind of taking some of the things that I do outside of the gym more into my content and just overall mythology, which is just helping people connect deeper to themselves, God, nature, other people. And yeah, that's in more ways than just the gym. So I'm excited to dive into that today.
Alrighty. So first, let's talk about this phrase, not to hot. People throw it around like it's just about looks, but it's really about transformation. When you start showing up differently, physically, emotionally, mentally, people notice, and not everyone handles that well, because growth exposes the ones who are still stuck. So when you hear not to hot, what comes to mind?
So the first thing that comes to mind when I hear not to hot is definitely my own personal transformation. Growing up in school, I was very shy, awkward, anxious, and I just didn't know how to take care of myself. I was very skinny, had greasy hair. Just I like to stay in the background, even though naturally inside I just wanted to put myself out there. But yeah, my transformation did start more physical. Because back then it was very big on the Kylie Jenner tee, skinny tee. Maybe it was the Kim K, but one of the skinny tees and corsets. I was very big on just trying to get a smaller waist, bigger butt. And I feel like that's still a trend right now, obviously. But I was so just stuck on well, you know what? If my physical appearance changes, then I'll be happy. So I got super obsessed with getting into the gym, and that did work. I felt better. I started getting more attention, but I realized that a lot of my validation was tied into what other people started to say about me. And it did make me feel good on the surface, but deep down I knew it was deeper than that. So I realized going from not to hot, it was a big shift. But at the same time, I realized that it was an inside job too. So when I started showing up more confident in my work and how I speak to people, deepening my connections and friendships, I started feeling a lot more, putting quote unquote, hot, because it was deeper. It was an inside job coming out on the outside. So, yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
Do you think this kind of transformation is more about appearance or mindset?
Perfect transition. So I truly believe it's more about mindset, because when you think about putting yourself out there, appearance, it's really a lot of it has to do with effort. So it's definitely more about effort, in my opinion, and how you show up for yourself.
Why do you think people struggle to handle another woman's glow up?
This one's such a good question. And honestly, I've watched this within my own journey and now like working with women in the gym and helping them with their journeys as well, like physical transformations. I'm watching them kind of go through it too. People struggle to see a woman glow up because it just mirrors all their insecurities, whether it's a close friend, whether it's someone that you thought you knew from school and you're putting them in a box. A lot of people get uncomfortable because a lot of the times they're either unhappy with themselves or it's just mirroring what the work that they have not done on themselves, whether it's jealous, envy, or just if they feel like they're too busy and don't have time to take care of themselves. A lot of the times they can project that and see it as someone being selfish. But in reality, when you pour into yourself more, you're able to pour from an even fuller cup. And it's intimidating. It really is, but there's no need for that. And when they really look in the mirror or just deep within themselves, you'll realize it's just coming from this insecure place.
I love that. Very fitting mirrorship.
Yeah, I know. Very on theme.
Okay, so let's talk about the part no one warned you about, the friendships that change. So you start doing better, and suddenly she's distant. She makes passive aggressive comments, my favorite. She stops inviting you out. Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's full blown mean girl energy. But either way, it hurts, especially when it's people who once rooted for you when you were struggling. Have you ever experienced friendships changing after your own transformation?
I definitely have. And I experienced this a little bit in high school when my transformation started really happening towards senior year. And then I noticed it a little bit in college. It was definitely uncomfortable because I like always jokingly say like I was a weird girl that just got hot. And like my personality has always been the same. I've always been very outgoing, weird. Like I just posted a video today of me running around outside barefoot. So like I've always stayed true to myself. So when the outward appearance changed and I started getting treated differently by men, my peers, but also my friends, it was really upsetting because I love seeing other people win. I love clapping for them. So when I started getting just passive aggressive, even when I was a server at one point, like the girls were passive aggressive. And it was very stressful because I just didn't understand. But I realized once again, when that starts to happen within your friendships, it's, how do I word this? It's something that you just have to accept and realize that some people might not be mature enough to have that conversation. Even if you go about it in a loving way, a lot of women, especially if you're close with them, might not be ready to hear that. Like just blatantly saying you're jealous, it's not, that is going to be really triggering. They won't be able to take that. But sometimes you just have to naturally let it go. Like you have to naturally just let it go. Like I see like friendships and change kind of like tree branches where they might go away for a little while, but they could come back together in the future even stronger. And it doesn't always have to end bad. But of course, if someone's being passive aggressive, that does hurt. But just really reminding yourself that people that are truly happy and successful will not make you feel bad for bettering yourself and glowing up. So it really is just their own insecurities that they don't know how to deal with. So they're projecting it onto you. And it sucks. It can be very lonely to experience that, especially when you're going through different phases of your teenage years and your young adult life. You don't want to see friendships grow, but when you do let that go and stop focusing that, I call it leaky energy, like leaky energy on like, oh my gosh, I want to fix this or I don't want this to change. When you actually let that go, it'll just bring in better connections, friendships, opportunities where they're deeper and they can meet you and match you to where you are now.
That's awesome. I love that one. Why do you think some women feel threatened by another woman improving herself?
So, kind of piggybacking off of my last take, it's the same thing. A lot of people like when you are reinforcing their bad behaviors. So whether it's just like constantly just like, oh, I hate myself or oh, like that's such like a trend now and it's like people like laugh about it, think it's funny or just like, oh my gosh, like we're just eating out every day, we're eating unhealthy, like it's the norm. Like when you're staying with that, you're just all reinforcing the same behavior. And when you start to grow and change a little bit, that can threaten the part of themselves that they're not willing to change or let go or see that it could be unhealthy or a problem. So sometimes it might not always come with words to them. If you just continue to show up and just model these new behaviors, if they really want to grow with you, they will. Or if they don't, then it just naturally has to let go. Because as cliche as it is, I always say, like, you are the top 5 people you surround yourself with. So as you start to change, like I see this within a lot of my clients, funny enough, they start to become gym girls and a lot of their old friendships fall away where they used to go out every weekend. And it's really a struggle for them to watch, like, dang, like I want these friendships, but if that's all they want to do and they know that all I want to do is this, like it's just not working right now and they just have to love them from a distance. And it's hard, but it's crazy to see it from my own perspective and now watching my clients go through it too.
What's a healthy way to deal with friendships that don't survive your growth?
The biggest thing that I'd say that it's easier said than done, but it's just loving them from a distance and clapping for them. And I always tell people, I was like, just clap for people before it's your turn. And yeah, I guess that's the best way I can put it is just love them from a distance and just hope that once again, maybe one day they'll see what you were trying to do or who you were trying to become, and that hopefully one day they'll meet you or match you there. And if not, like, yeah, yeah, that's all I got on that one. Sorry.
I love that though.
Thank you.
Clapping from a distance. I like that. Or clapping before it's your turn.
Yeah.
I've never heard it put that way, but I like that. Because I think some people, they don't think that that's possible. Like they think, oh, well, they're distancing. They don't like me. No, there's a reason that there's distance. And we can still clap for you.
Exactly. And like kind of what you were talking about earlier before the podcast is that like there's a lot of women in your industry with photography and mine with like health coaching, fitness coaching that we're kind of doing the same thing in a way. But a lot of people will love you and support you, but you also doing like being you and doing you. Like there doesn't have to be this competition. Like one saying I hear a lot is people at the top collaborate, they don't compete. Because when we're all rising together and supporting each other, there's no need to feel threatened. We can all grow together and learn something from each other.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So here's what I want to challenge you. The belief that another woman's glow takes away from yours. If someone's progress makes you feel small, that's not a reflection of her. It's a mirror for you. Just like she just said.
yeah.
Her success isn't stealing from you. Her confidence isn't a threat. Her self-care isn't arrogance. It's evidence of what's possible. So how can women catch themselves when jealousy creeps in?
Okay. So, how can women catch themselves before jealousy creeps in? Honestly, I'm going to double back with my last saying too. Is the biggest thing is clapping for others before it's your turn because people can feel when you're like being fake, like if you're just like supporting people just to get support in return. Like obviously like we want to support others to get supported back, but when you're like coming from this like expectation point of view, like people can really feel that. Like if you're coming from this genuine place of love and just like, you know what, like they're on their own journey, they're a different person than me, like let's celebrate them, let's be happy for them and just acknowledge their growth and be inspired by it. Just because someone is growing and glowing doesn't mean that that has to be a threat to you. And even if it does, because I'm sure we've even when we are like people like me and you that are doing really well and successful and happy, we probably still like get that little voice in our head that we could be jealous, we're not doing enough. Like it's so common, even when you see women like us that are helping other women with the same thing. But the biggest thing, so doubling back, is just clapping before it's your turn. Like continue to support, clap, and try to redirect that negative, envious energy that's in your heart and just put it back out and turn it into love, and it will come back to you in even greater form.
I love that because redirecting is always what I talk about on here is redirecting your thoughts.
I'm just focusing on you.
How do you personally handle it when you see someone else thriving in ways you want to be?
Yes, I love this one. So I used to see it when, like I said, when I was very insecure, I did used to see it as a threat and oh my gosh, I'll never be like that. That'll never be me. But the whole redirecting your thoughts and energy, realizing, well, you know what? Even if I can't be like them or get close to them, what are they thinking? What are they doing? Like, what are things that they're doing maybe in their daily life or people that they're listening to, things that they're doing that are setting them up for success, setting their environment to be this like version of themselves? And how can I become like that? How can I implement that into my lifestyle? So, one big reminder that I tell myself that I've really had to learn is that people that are doing better than you in terms of business, success, happiness, lots of friendships, a lot of the times those people, and there's obviously nuance, a lot of the times those people that are genuinely so happy and doing better than you want to see you win as well. The people that are unhappy and insecure want to keep you small, unfortunately. So when the people that are actually like winning and thriving, they want to see you grow. Like they're going to be the ones that celebrate you and clap for you. So don't be afraid to get in the same rooms as them or get closer to them or even just ask them questions. Let them become your mentor. Try to just, frequent the places that they're going or maybe the environments that they're in because they want to see you grow and win too. So instead of like shying away from that, women that are doing better, trying to just get closer. And it doesn't have to be like that same person, but just like getting closer to people that are doing better. If you want to be a gym girl, trying out different gyms, talking to people that go to the gym, like what's their lifestyle like? And that will help you grow as well rather than shy away from it and say, oh, that'll never be me.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and I feel like one question I get asked on a lot of my videos when I post the podcast is, but I don't know how. I don't know how to do that. And what you just said, like redirecting your thoughts, because that jealousy and that insecurity is very much something that was taught to you probably when you were younger. You've probably seen someone model that behavior. So then when you start to see other women like, oh wow, she's supporting her,
Yes.
and I kind of transitioned into that like when I switched friend groups. Like I like what you said earlier, I kind of backed off from other people for certain reasons and then like got a new group of people.
You'll attract those new people, connections, opportunities, and it'll be so much more fulfilling.
And then you see them like in the same energies too. Like I learned from my friend Marissa all about energy, and it's the same energy now. Like I receive it back. They cheer for me, I cheer for them, and it's like you have to redirect your own thoughts.
Exactly. And I try not to be judgmental, but I'm putting this out there because there's a lot of women that I've heard say like, oh, I just attract like just crazy friendships or just crazy girls or girls that are just so jealous.
You're manifesting that.
Yeah, and a lot of the times that maybe, let's just say that maybe they're not actually that way, but it could be reinforcing some sort of lesson that they have not learned yet in their own heart. So like, if a women are attracting these toxic men, it might not mean that that woman herself is toxic, but are you setting boundaries? Are you speaking your truth? So it could be same for friendships. They might not be actually matching that same negative energy out there, but it could be coming from this place of within friendships. Are you speaking up? Are you setting boundaries? Are you that's the best way I can put it. Is it might not always be a direct correlation of who you are, but on the flip side, it could be where you're not standing up for yourself and setting boundaries too. Yeah, but I really like that question, like how to just handle it. Yeah.
What does it look like to shift from insecurity to curiosity?
I love this question. So coming from me, who's worked with a lot of different people, and I know Reva has too, I've also traveled a lot. And when you're from a small area, sometimes like you just see these areas as the entire world, but that's not the case at all. So many people live entirely different lives. And the moment we can step out of insecurity and judging back to just curiosity, you can learn so much and actually get closer to someone that way. Because like, let's say someone has a different belief than you in terms of religion, or maybe just in terms of like, I don't know, drinking or the beauty industry. Like Reva and I were talking about like, just like Botox and filler and things like that. But when you start asking questions from genuine curiosity, like, oh, why does that make you feel that way? What about X, Y, Z do you love? Like this church or this belief? Like, how does that make you feel? Versus why do you do that? Like, oh, like you go out every weekend? Like when you start to like, people can feel the difference in inflection in your voice when you're like, even if you on paper, if you write it down, sounds like you're being curious, people can still tell when there's a passive aggressive undertone or slight judging. So when you can really step back and just, like, yeah, like why do you feel that way? Or what makes you want to do that? Or how does that make you feel? When you really are trying to be open-minded, coming from a place of learning and not projecting, you actually can become so much closer with someone or just learn. Like I love being curious when I'm traveling because people live entirely different lives. Like they like in terms of lifestyle, how they treat others, how they communicate. And if we were to immediately judge every time, we're never going to learn and get out of our own bubble.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because here's the thing. Your glow up might make people uncomfortable, but that's not your burden to carry. Mm-hmm. Your job is to keep growing, to keep showing up, to keep being brave enough to let people's opinions fall away while you rise. And if you're on the other side of it, if you're the one feeling jealous or left behind, take this as your cue to shift. It's 2026. It's time to do better. We don't need more women tearing each other down. We need more women saying, if she can do it, so can I. Mm-hmm. So what's your advice for women afraid to start changing because they don't want to lose people?
As cliche as this is, you truly do attract what you are. So when you are not so focused on clinging and hanging on to all these things that might not no longer serve you, or if there's no equal exchange of energy and effort being put into those friendships, you truly are better off letting it go. Although it can be scary, lonely, when you focus and pour the energy back into yourself and getting around the people and environments that you would love to be like, grow into, you really will learn so much more about yourself, others, and then you will attract better people, opportunities, and connections that feel more like you. And then maybe those friendships in the future could come back around, but you just have to be open and okay with them possibly not, but just trying to be that role model.
Yeah, I strongly believe in you attract what you put out. Mm-hmm. So what's one thing you'd say to a woman who's been made to feel guilty for her glow up?
I love this question. So I also did say something similar earlier, but a true successful, and success can be defined in so many ways. It doesn't have to just mean in terms of finances. It could be time freedom. It could be just living the life of their dreams, working in their purpose. But a truly happy, successful person will never bring you down. They will, someone that's a big business owner will see someone that's just getting started, like a baby in business, or, a woman that's, done multiple photo shoots, super confident, will see someone doing it for the first time and genuinely be so excited for them and cheer them on because at least they're trying. They're not the ones that are just sitting back and judging, making fun of, like they genuinely see you trying. And those people truly want to see you thrive and grow and are happy because you're trying and not just sitting on the back burner and just judging others. So yeah, that's what I would tell a woman that's scared of it, is just know that the people that are actually doing it and thriving want to see you win too. And yeah.
See, that's why I knew you'd be good for this.
Thank you.
So to every woman listening, don't shrink for anyone. If your light bothers them, hand them a pair of shades. You are not responsible for making your growth palatable. You're responsible for becoming who you were always meant to be. And to the women who feel that twinge of jealousy, you're human, but you're also capable of choosing to be inspired instead. It's 2026. We're shifting mirrors, we're shifting mindsets, and we're choosing empowerment over envy. I just want to say thank you to Caitlin for being here today and for this amazing conversation.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone listening. If this episode hit home, share it with a woman you love, the one who's ready to rise into her next era. Until next time, this is the Mirror Shift Podcast. Keep shining, keep evolving, and never apologize for your glow. few minutes reflecting with me today. If this episode spoke to you, share it with a sister who needs to hear it. And remember, the real glow up begins in your mind.